Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my official second live. My first live was pretty horrible. It was a couple weeks back. The sound was bad, the videos were confusing, everything was just bad. But thank God for improvement, and hopefully this one will be better than the last. So today's video, I want to get into the Victoria's Secret fashion show. I was doing what I usually do. I was scrolling on social media. I got to YouTube and I got recommended the Victoria's Secret fashion show. And this was a shock to me because I had no idea that it was going to come out this soon. I knew it was coming out at the end of the year, but I didn't know it was going to be in October. And when I started watching it, I had so many opinions, so many thoughts, and I thought to myself, why should I keep it to myself? Why not make a video? Why not go live? Why not post it? So here we are, very exciting. And I'm just basically going to be watching the show and then I'm going to give you like my commentary. And I would also love to know your comments and opinions down in the comment section below. So let's start off with the fact that it's on YouTube, it's streaming. This is not a surprise and I think it's really smart. If they had gone with the typical route of showing it on TV, I don't know if many people would watch it, and I don't know how relevant it could be, simply because people are just not watching TV anymore. And if they had decided to go with like a streaming site, you would have to really consider which site would be able to show to the largest amount of people as possible. And I think Netflix is the site that most people are subscribed to simply because they kind of came first. So if they didn't go with Netflix, what would they have chosen? Is it Hulu? Is it HBO? I don't think so. So I think it's great that they decided to go with YouTube, and they're currently trying to win back the public's favor. They're trying to get that fan base back, that support. So what better way than making it accessible for everyone and for people to potentially fall in love with the brand, the angels, and everything in between. So the live stream actually started with a pink carpet, and you had, surprisingly, Olivia Culpo, who I actually did a video on. Make sure to watch that. She was in some drama a couple weeks back because of her wedding, but she was on the red carpet. She was one of the hosts, and they were just basically asking people questions. To be honest with you, I wasn't that interested. I didn't know half of the people they were interviewing, and the other half who I knew, it just kind of felt awkward, and I don't think it was very charismatic. And I don't think I care that much about the people who are on the red carpet coming to watch the show. All they're really gonna say is that they're excited, they can't wait to see it, stuff like that. What I really wanted to see was backstage with the angels, how they were gonna like fit their dresses and lingerie, the wings, and I wanted to see the chaos that was happening behind the scenes. I wasn't really interested in the red carpet or the pink carpet. The first performer was Lisa. She is a former member of the K-pop group Blackpink, and I liked her performance. I don't really have anything like negative to say. I can't say that she didn't have energy. I can't say that I wasn't entertained. What I do have to say is that I'm not a fan of her song Rockstar. And I know that music and the song is very subjective, but I remember when there was anticipation for her to drop the song. She was teasing it, she was giving visuals. I saw the teaser trailer for the music video, and I guess I had higher expectations. I didn't think the song would really be about nothing. It's about how she's a rock star, which we know, and props to her. But I don't see what exactly the song relates to her. How is it about Lisa in particular, especially as a new solo artist? But I guess that's a conversation for a completely different video. Next, we have to talk about who exactly opened the show. I am not surprised in the slightest that it was Gigi Hadid. Number one, she has become somewhat of the commercial supermodel. She is everywhere. She is part of every show that's about fashion, or she's like a guest star. She is, apart from being on like billboards and stuff, she has just become the face of supermodels. I feel like I see her everywhere. I see her being talked about everywhere. However, I will say that I don't think she's the model of like social media. And I know she doesn't care, and I know maybe you don't care, but the way I see it, people see Bella as like the model they love and relate to. Kendall Jenner is the model that people don't really like and don't really want to be a model. And Gigi is the model that people appreciate her talent. They think she deserves to be a model and they'll support her. But I don't think that like organic love is really there. But that's just my opinion. And it's also based on conversations that I see about her on social media. And in terms of her look, to be honest with you, I think it's pretty and I think it's pink and I think that's what they're going for. But I'm not really sure if it's like a standout wow kind of moment. I think it's a pretty moment. I think it's a pink moment. It's very much giving Victoria's Secret, but it's not something that really wowed me. And I'm hoping that this is not the theme we're going with. I get that they're trying to remind people that, we're Victoria's Secret pink. We're pink. We're the ones that you used to love. But I hope that after this, we get looks that really make me go, wow. Okay, I think I spoke too soon because I just saw Gigi Hadid walk the runway and her wings literally went up. Loved it. And then I loved also how they had on the like screen, "We are back." They're just trying to remind everyone we're sorry about what we did, especially last year, but a couple years as well. Please know that we're back and we're better, but we're still the same. We're going to give you glitter, we're going to give you wings, and that's exactly what we want to see. And let me also say that when the third model walked out, the one with the short brown hair, I really thought that was Hailey Bieber. That looks like her sister. I almost said to myself, wait a minute, I thought she just had a baby. There's no way she's walking on stage, but it's not her. I also kind of wish they would put the names of the models just so that we can identify them. But I get that it would ruin the experience, but I would love to be able to point out and say this model is who and this and that. But, it's okay. Okay, so I don't want to judge too quickly, but so far, a lot of the models are not really giving model face. They're happy, but they're kind of like shy and awkward. And I get it, it's a lot of people. They've probably been practicing, but nothing really prepares you for that stage. But I'm supposed to feel like I'm watching supermodels walking on clouds. They're angels, for goodness sakes, that's their name. So I think if you're walking, you gotta give that fierce look, or you have to give a look that screams, I'm meant to be here. It shouldn't be awkward. It shouldn't be super shy. You are supermodels. You made it. You're beautiful. You're here. Adriana Lima looks beautiful. And I have to talk about this because it was just a few months ago people were talking about how she's looking ugly. She looks puffy. Her face looks like this and that. Yeah, that's exactly what happens when you're pregnant. You get puffy in the face and you don't look like yourself before you were pregnant, but that doesn't mean you're ugly. So to see her walking in, by the way, I'm already loving the outfit. I think her wings are amazing. She's like a butterfly, but some of her wings are torn, and the whole outfit is giving plaid, glitter. I love it. She looks amazing, and she's absolutely killing it. So Tyla just performed and it gave everything that it needed to give. Especially because of the models walking in between her, it really reminded me of the OG and the classic Victoria's Secret runway show. The only critique I have is for the show and the camera because there were many moments where the camera was either confused whether it should show Tyla or show the models, especially when they got to the end of the stage. So someone like Jasmine Tooks and someone like Barbara Palvin, I didn't get to see them walking, and then I didn't get to see them like reach the end of the stage and then show off like their pose and for me to really see what they're wearing. If I remember correctly with the other Victoria's Secret shows, Even though the performer is standing there and performing, they're also kind of interacting with the models, but the focus is never really on the performer that much. We still get to see at least when the models get to the end of the stage. I hope that makes sense. So that was my only critique, because I would have loved to see someone like Barbara, someone like Jasmine, who are models I'm familiar with, to see them like walk and have their moment. I feel like by the time they got to the end, it was like, oh, it's over and they're done. Okay, so moving on to the rock and roll portion, I think this is probably my favorite. I like the way it's edgy. I like the silver and the black, and I like the camera work this time. It's similar to when Gigi opened the show. The camera is more focused on the models and the looks and the walking. However, I do think a little bit of personality is missing from some of the models, not all of them. However, Kate Moss, the 50-year-old fabulous Kate Moss, came out and did her thing. I also love the fact that Victoria's Secret included her. And I know that Tyra Banks is going to be part of the show because I saw her earlier in the interview portion. And I think it's great, and I love the fact that they are including older women. Because when we talk about inclusivity, we don't usually think of older women, even though they are also affected, and they are always cast aside. They are never even in the conversation. So I love that something like Victoria's Secret, which is all about beauty and women, and it's dedicated right now to showing that this is for women, it's by women. Hopefully there are a lot of women behind the scenes, but I just love that they included Kate Moss and they included Tyra Banks and older models as well. So when it came to the musician, at first I felt really bad because I was like, who is this? Why don't I know them? I tried to Google it, but it turns out the woman playing the guitar is not really like a recording artist, I guess. She's just someone, she's a musician of course, but she's someone who just like plays the guitar. So she's not like an artist who has her own songs. So the songs that we're playing are not hers. They're just like some of the popular rock and roll songs, which obviously fits in with the theme. The black and gold performance probably has to be my new favorite. I know I just said the rock star was my favorite, but what can I say? I've changed my mind. There was just something so ethereal and magical about what I just saw. I think all the women were beautiful, especially the older women who closed the show. It was just like, I don't think I've seen something like that before, especially on mainstream like this. They look beautiful, the hair is amazing, their outfits, I loved everything about it. I also like Lisa's outfit. I feel this was what I wanted to see for her first performance, but maybe her first performance was more about her single and her, but I really liked this one. I liked the outfit. I actually really liked the song as well. It fits perfectly with the theme, the outfits. This is probably my new favorite, unless something comes and changes my mind again. There are so many things to talk about with Cher's section of the show. First of all, I think she's the perfect person that they chose because she has always been unapologetically herself, especially when it comes to her youth, her beauty, her fashion. She has always been confident about it, even in a period and a time where women were not supposed to dress a certain way. So I think she's literally perfect. She fits the theme and she's an icon, of course. And just when she was getting to the climax of her song, Do You Believe in Love, for Miss Bella Hadid to walk out, I almost lost it because I really didn't think she was part of the show. I didn't see her in any of like the backstage videos, so I really thought, there's no way. But then at the same time, I was like, if her sister is heavily involved, she definitely has to make an appearance, right? And she does, and she's in this huge, big, poofy, like, coat, and she looks so beautiful. And I didn't know that I was kind of a Bella fan or a Bella stan, because when she walked out, I literally was like, oh my god, it's Bella Hadid, it's Bella Hadid. And yeah, of course, it's Bella Hadid. She looked amazing. They all did, actually. Bella just has that it factor. Like, And as soon as the camera went to her, just like I said, I wasn't expecting it. So to see her walking, I was like, oh my God, is that her? Like, she just has that it factor. I couldn't take my eyes off of her. The whole thing, Cher, the outfits, the red, the stage, Bella, they killed it. And to close the show, we had Tyra Banks, the incomparable, the beautiful, the stunning. You know how it goes. She was absolutely amazing. I loved her outfit. I could just see how happy and confident she is, especially with all the like controversy that has been attached to her name these past couple of years because of America's Next Top Model. It was nice to see her in her element, doing her thing, feeling good. And to be honest with you, I enjoyed the show. Let me give you my final review. I enjoyed the show. I loved the experience. I loved the music. I loved the performances. I loved the models. And if I were to watch it again, if you were to ask me, hey, would you spend time, watching the show all over again? I would say yes, because I really enjoyed it. I feel like if I were to watch it a second time, there would be new things that I would see and things that I would enjoy as well. In terms of my rankings and reviews, I can't really rank the model walks. Let me just tell you who I enjoyed. And the reason why I don't want to rank it is because I know that who I'm going to choose is just going to be based on who I know and who I kind of like. Number one would be Bella. I just liked the ending. I didn't expect to see her. I loved her in red. Absolutely killed it. I loved a lot of the older models, to be honest with you, especially the last two or maybe the last three in the gold and black version. The one that I said was super ethereal. I'm going to put the video so you can see it. I just think they looked amazing and they really made me happy when I saw them. And I just think they looked beautiful, and I can't imagine other older women seeing this, and also young girls and middle-aged women, I guess, seeing this and feeling like, yeah, you can be beautiful regardless of your age. It doesn't have to stop when you hit a certain point. It was also really great to see Adriana Lima. She just has so much personality. It's something that I found myself really attracted to while I was watching the show. Some models didn't really have that oomph, that fire. They didn't make me feel like they were rocking the stage. It just felt like they had some clothes on and they were walking and then they were done. And then moving on to my favorite show, I know I said I like the Rockstar stage, but honestly, I just loved the gold and black. That whole thing, it just felt like we were at Heaven's Gate, and I just can't get enough of that. The models, Ashley Graham opened the show. The whole thing to me was just beautiful. I keep replaying it in my mind over and over again. And I would love to know which particular show was your favorite and why. In terms of performances, I think Lisa, Cher, the rock star, who I don't know her name unfortunately, Tyla, I think they did great. They were very energetic. They made great use of the stage. I would say that I would have loved for them to interact more with the models, kind of like before, where you would have the artists like singing and dancing around the models. Sometimes they even like hold hands, they walk together. I would have loved to see more of that. And in terms of critiques, I have a few. I think the set design was a little bit plain. I feel they could have done more with the decor. I get that they were going for that like minimal vibe, and this is their first comeback, so they don't really want to go crazy. They're just trying to see if people will even receive it well, which at this point I think people will. I don't really see how you can really complain because it's like the OG, but there's more diversity and it kind of resembles what we had before, but maybe hopefully better. And also hopefully behind the scenes it's more fair. There is no abuse. The women are free. We don't have any creeps behind the scenes. Fingers crossed for that. But I just wish they could have done more with the set design. I wish I could have seen some chandeliers hanging from the ceiling. Just something a little bit more. One of my critiques definitely has to be the camera work, and I mentioned this earlier, but as the show progressed, I just realized at different points the the camera isn't sure where it wants to be. Some people get enough screen time, like Bella and Gigi, when they're walking, and then other people, like I said, like Barbara Palvin, who is one of my favorites, she didn't get enough screen time at all. Jasmine Tooks didn't get any screen time. It just felt like the camera would be on them momentarily and then it would go away, and before I knew it, I didn't get to see their full outfits. I didn't get to see them walking. But that's the whole point of Victoria's Secret. It's just not about the fashion, it's just not about the music, it's also seeing these models walking and looking like angels. Another minor critique is that I wish I would have seen more backstage footage or interviews. During the show, there were many points where the camera would show the models like walking around, but it was always super fast. You don't really get to see them like dressing up or putting on their wings or looking nervous or having the stage manager go 3, 2, 1, okay, let's go. Like, I would have loved to see more of that, simply because backstage, especially at a fashion show of this stature, you know that a lot is going on. And I just would have loved to see a little bit of that. I would have also loved to see like the storyboards, stuff like that, how the models arrange themselves, even a little bit of like hair and makeup. I feel that should have replaced the interview portion at the beginning, and it would have given more life to the show. But overall, I think it was an amazing show. Like I said, I would watch it again if you asked me to, especially because I know I would catch more things, I would see more of the models, and it was just honestly really beautiful to witness. I think Victoria's Secret is really at that point where they can grow, they can become the company that they used to be, but better. I think the reason why people were angry with Victoria's Secret as a brand and a company is because there was a lot of love there. People had grown up on it, people were used to going to the stores, people loved the fashion shows, and they loved the models. So for them to be attached to negativity and to also be part of an environment such as abuse of women, when not only is the customer base women, but the models are women. So it just felt like, what's the whole point of having a brand that's catered to women, that features women, that stars women, and women are not even being protected? They have the opportunity to correct all of that. I keep mentioning that I hope that behind the scenes things are better, that there are more women who are there to protect other women and also men who work there. I just hope that this is not a change that they're doing on the surface. Because if you don't root out the real problems, it's just going to come back in 5 to 10 years time. And what are you going to do? Restart the company again like you did? You might not get the same opportunity to right your wrongs like you are able to do now. And before I end this video, has anybody else thought to themselves that where is Kendall Jenner? She has a lot of her friends who are walking the show, and this seems like something she would definitely be part of. I know that she said that she doesn't really take a lot of shows and she doesn't really like to walk, but she does love the big moments, and I feel like this is or was a big moment. So I'm curious as to why she wasn't a part of it. Is it because she had other engagements? But if I remember correctly, she really wanted to be a Victoria's Secret model all those years ago, and then she got her chance to walk the show. So if they're coming back and they're back to how they used to be, why isn't Kendall a part of this? This seems like something that Kris Jenner would have definitely pushed her and squeezed her in. And I'm sure the show would have loved the press, especially if it aired on like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I don't know, next year. But that's just a thought that came to my mind. And with that being said, this does bring me to the end of my video and my official second live. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. I would love to know your thoughts and opinions down below. Like this video, it really helps with the algorithm. Subscribe for more content. Check out some of my other videos. And hopefully, I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!